if you succeed in doing this, then the black would go in the pocket and then you would open the reds. Hello and very warm welcome to another video. I'm Brando, EBSA assistant head coach and world snooker coach. Decision making in snooker is something that needs to be looked at, because many players are making mistakes even before they execute the shot. And the mistake is in their thinking process, which is when they're choking their tip, when they walk around the table, when they make the decision what shot to play. And the thing is that many players just don't realize that the mistake comes because of wrong decision. And usually they're trying to find the mistake in their technique, but it's not in the technique. They just want to do something on the table which is not correct, and they do the wrong thing, and then they blame their technique for the mistake. You know that you should be thinking about 3 shots ahead before you make the shot. That means that you need to read the angle on the current ball, you need to take the correct decision how to make position on the next ball, and to leave you the correct angle to be able to go on the third ball. And this is not very easy in terms of thinking process. I've set up a little simple routine here. I'll use this routine for an example of all of the thinking process, all of the decisions you should make before the shot. I've set up 3 reds in a little pack here around the pink, very common situation, and 3 open reds here in that area between the black and the pink. So obviously you have to pull a red, you have to be on the black, but you have to make the decision what angle on the black to leave on to be able to open that little pack and to have an insurance ball so you can continue the break. Every snooker player wants to clear the table, but not many players are taking the correct shots in good order to clear that table. So a good break builder would like to open that pack as soon as possible, in the first possible moment, and to have an insurance ball opening that reds. So I would like to make that cannon now. I would like to make the cannon from the first black. I'll play the middle red, I'll try to be low on the black, and then from the black to make a soft cannon, really soft one, just to split the reds softly, and then to play one of those 2 reds. So that's the idea. Now the player needs to read that angle correctly to judge how much speed on the shot and what type of shot on the cue ball to play on to be perfectly on the black. Because if you play this with too much stun, then you leave too low on the black. If you play with too much screw back, then you leave yourself straight on the black. And this is all of the decision making before the shot. So I'll play the shot now with too much stun, and I'll be too low on the black, just to show you what's not correct. So that was too much stun, I'm very low on the black. This is a black I should not take on. Too much screw back, again, will not work to be perfect on the black. I'll play the shot now with too much screw back, I'll be straight or slightly high on the black, and this is not the correct angle. So now I'm straight on the black, not very good. So the decision before the shot is not correct. If you try to get there just with screw back, just with soft screw, it will not work. So the shot is so-called in-between shots. It is between stun and screw, and that in-between shot should be judged perfectly to be perfect on the block. So if you don't know what to play before the shot, then the mistake is made before you play the shot, not that much in the execution of the shot. So from this angle, to be perfectly low on the block, I'll play that in-between shot, stun and screw. So here I'm perfect on the block. It's a half ball block, low on the block. Absolutely ideal situation to make a soft cannon these 3 reds and to have those 2 reds as an insurance balls. But now again, you have to judge the angle, to read the potting angle, and this is made here, standing behind the line, absolutely perfect behind the line. And now you have to make the decision, was the shot on the cue ball to get the cue ball into these 3 reds? So I know I have to play a screw back shot, but if you don't know that, and if you play the shot with too much stun, then you would miss the reds, and then the cue ball would finish somewhere there on the side cushion, which is really not good for your position. And again, if you're thinking too much about the cannon, then you would miss the block, you would open the balls for your opponent, and then you're not in a pretty good situation. So the thinking process should be, all right, I have a half ball block, I have to play a screw back shot, and then you forget about the cannon. You just forget about the cannon. You need to play a screw back shot and to pot a half ball block. If you succeed in doing this, then the black would go in the pocket and then you would open the reds. If you're thinking too much about the reds, then you may miss the black and then not very good. So the decision is made, I'll play a screw back shot, half ball black, I'm not thinking about the cannon anymore, I'm just concentrating on potting the black with screw shot. Not a bad cannon, little Chinese snooker, but that shouldn't be a problem. I was really not thinking about the cannon. I was concentrating on potting the black just with a soft screw to get into these 3 reds. Here I've set up another simple situation around the black spot, and many players are not reading this situation correctly. I have 2 reds here which can be potted in that corner pocket if I remove that red. So I have 5 balls and you need to take them in good order. Many players here are playing just a screw back, they leave themselves high on the block, then they go for this red, and then they have a little problem about cannoning this red from the other side of the block, and if they miss the cannon, the break is over. So I will try to get the cannon as soon as I can, so I would not play the screw back shot, I would play more of a stun shot to leave myself low on the block. From the block I'll try to get the cannon. If I don't get this cannon perfectly, I'll have this red as an insurance ball. Then I can pot this red and continue the break. I would not leave the cannon for later. I would like to take this now. But again, this is a thinking process, probably a little bit more complicated because I read all of the balls here. I see that I have 2 reds which goes only here if I remove this red. So it's important all of this thinking to be made while you're standing behind the shot, while you walk around the table to see which ball is going where and to make a decision how to construct your break. Because if you just make a screw back here, leaving yourself high on the block, there your chance of making some mistake here around the black spot is much higher. So I've made the decision to go low on the black. I read the angle carefully and I know it's more of a stern shot, probably a touch of screw just below, a little bit below that stern shot to be low on the black. I'll force the angle slightly to leave myself low on the black. Perfectly on the black, half ball black. Now I can try to get that cannon on the red. Now again, you need to judge the angle, you need to judge what's the pace of the shot, how much screw to apply on that shot. I'm not saying where to hit the white and how hard to hit the white, because every table is different. For me, this is a screw back shot, not the maximum of the screw back shot, but almost there. And for me, this is pretty slow shot. It's not a medium pace. Anyway, I'm just concentrating now on the black, potting the black with a soft screw to get this cannon softly. I don't want to be hitting this too hard, because if I miss that cannon, I'll finish there, and from there I will not have very good bow to continue. So now I'm concentrating just to pot the black. I forget about the cannon, so soft screw, potting the black. Perfect cannon on the red. I have this bow, I have this bow as well, so now I can continue my break. Please remember that many mistakes are made even before the shot because of the decisions you're making are not correct, and it's not that much in the execution of the shot. So before you go down, you have to read your angle, you have to make a decision what's the next ball, what's the angle on the next ball, to be able to go on the third ball in the break. It sounds a little bit complicated, but if you get this in your head before each shot, I promise you your break building will be much, much better. And then if you make some mistake, you may realize, okay, I've made the wrong decision. It's not that much not my technique. I should not be thinking that much about my grip or my stance or my cueing. It was just a mistake in my thinking process. Many thanks for watching. See you next time.